Welcome back, my creative friends. It's me, Susanna Baker, presenting Wynwood Magazine Podcast. Welcome back to Wynwood Magazine Podcast, where we bring you the creative legends and icons. And with me today, we have a true Miami Titan. We have an amazing Pulitzer Prize winning photographer.
I won it with my staff, never won it by myself.
That's right. So, and he is not only humble, but I want to tell you, he's also a John F. Kennedy Medal recipient.
Yes, ma'am.
And he, through his lens, he not only captures international history, but he's also shaped the way we see our own neighborhood. And I got to tell you, right here at home, we are sitting with the wonderful and legendary Carl Juste. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
and welcome home.
Thank you. I got to tell you, I've been traveling a lot, getting this magazine. I'm proud to announce that it's the second time you have supported Wynwood Magazine by an amazing article you have written. Art of Humanities is definitely your subject. And I have to tell you, and one of my, I'm going to ask you, you're from Haiti, Port-au-Prince, got here to America at 2 years old. Beautiful, big, powerful family that's mentored you. Your dad was a wonderful role model.
Sure was. So was my mom.
And so was your mom. And, there's so many experiences that have shaped you to the Carl-Philippe Juste of today. But one of the things that has captured, and I don't know if many of our viewers know, Carl Juste has worked for over 32 years for the Miami Herald.
Yes, I have. I've
yes.
been blessed.
Yes, been blessed. And the Pulitzer Prize was a combination with other
staff,
amazing staff of Miami journalists at the Miami Herald. I wanted to tell you, how did you decide that not only you wanted to become an artist, which came first? Like they say, is it the carriage or the horse? Did you become a photojournalist or a fine arts artist first? Which was the desire?
Well, look, the profession and the passion of visual storytelling, I operate that without a camera for years as a child. I was an observer. I watched people. When I used to go out with my parents, and they allowed me to occupy multiple spaces in New York, where for the most part I was probably the only black child for miles. Museums, concert halls, just events that my dad would orchestrate. So the black gaze was always part of my navigation, how I worked through being somewhat a island unto itself. So when a child is 5 or 6, 7 years old with their parents, what do? They sit quiet and watch. And I would watch all these stories, these narratives happen in front of me. I don't know why I was interested. And I was always asking adults questions about their backstory, how did it end up sharing the space with me and my dad and my parents? Yeah. So it became part of my skill set. Talking to people and getting to know their names before you get to make a portrait of them. Wow. Getting to understand the basic of what their humanity is.
Amazing.
And trying to find that nexus where we both can have a conversation. So to answer your question, I think I was curious before I was anything else.
Curious before anything else. I love that.
And journalism was just a way to satisfy that curiosity.
When did the curiosity take you to pick up a camera?
It's probably in high school. But then I dropped it off, and then I picked it up in my junior year at University of Miami. And then I really found that was my voice. The visual language was my primary language. I understood how images speak. And I understood this would be a great crossroad for us, for people of different spaces and places to kind of convene. I made the proposition and delivered the fact that photojournalism is art.
How do you separate or actually create the duality of your process making, because you've covered some real serious, intense historical moments in the world. Afghanistan, Iran, Haiti. You've captured, and I call you the man, the man with the lens of the soul. Because when you take a picture of someone's worst, the Haitian earthquake, the riots, the protests, the earthquakes, the hurricane disasters. You cover some of the most intense, absolute despair moments for a human being. And while you're capturing it, and while you're documenting this real life moment that's happening right there, that second, you have to capture that, historically document it through your lens. But not only do you do that, you do it in such a way that you create this dual fine arts moment, because you're capturing, whether it's their eyes, whether it's a gesture of their hands, you capture something in that moment that gives it a human quality that touches the soul. There's an emotion, you walk away. And it's not just like, oh my God, it's more than that. It's like, oh my God, but there's beauty sometimes in that moment of despair.
Right. Photojournalism is the candle in the dark.
The candle in the dark.
And you learn to,
I love that.
And you learn to understand that the power of the candle, right? Because sometimes I have to work with the light of the candle. In this duality you speak of, is great images, they become mirrors of our values. If I don't make a picture where you can extract yourself, then I failed you. Right. I don't take pictures, I make them. And I'm in collaboration with the subject and with the reader.
Right.
Writers write their truth, but you have to write the truth in a context where other people can engage. So same thing with photographers, I write with light.
That's amazing. You just said capturing the humanity of the subject matter. How do you do that when you have to go in and you're given an assignment, and that assignment brings you to a place where there's just total chaos, and there's just the human soul, that person feels like they've lost everything. How do you gain the trust of that subject matter? Because you could see that everything you film, whether it's an action moment, that's fine, but when your portraiture of these documented historical intense moments happen, there is a sense between that the viewer gets, especially me, that I can see there's a relationship that you have built, whether it's seconds. How do you do that? How do you build with a subject matter that's going through something and wants to explain it and has minutes or seconds as you try to document that story? Because you do it so amazing, and it seems like it's just become part of your MO.
You have to know how to listen with your eyes. That's plain simple. You have to extract, no matter what loss a person's been through, what struggle they've been through, you have to put in a context that they're not losers.
Wow.
They're not victims. They're victors of their own, tragedy. And you have to go with that, on that ride with them. You have to have them understand that I'm not here to see you at your worst moment. I'm here to witness how you rise from it.
Wow.
It's character building and making images where you look at people. It's easy to pin people down when they're on the ground, but how hard it is to extend a hand or help them rise up.
Wow.
And my images is all about that.
Yes.
I'm not doing them a favor, they're actually doing me a favor.
Yes.
They're allowing me to retell their story.
Yes.
And I'm a reteller of stories, not a storyteller.
Right.
You understand?
Yes, yes.
So that being the case, I'm always looking, how can I retell stories? How can I move beyond the obvious? How can I make the foreign seem familiar? And how can I make the ordinary seem special?
Wow.
You see, and that requires a certain level of, not just of understanding oneself, but understanding how we all are connected. Because art is about connectivity. It's not about disconnect. It's about connection. And pain in Helsinki is the same pain in Haiti. Pain in Cuba is the same pain in Constantinople. It's just letters, but the pain is the same because they're universal.
Yeah.
So tapping into that universal engagement is extremely important to me.
It is extremely important to us because you are one that brings the story to us, and you enlighten people that might not be aware, people that might have heard or thought it was a rumor. You make it stand still in our lives to digest the information through one picture or two pictures. You gather the whole storyline, like they say, one picture creates a thousand words.
Yeah,
and so you definitely do that time and time again. You know, it's obvious why you've gotten the recipient medal of John F. Kennedy. I mean, you have been telling these amazing retelling stories in the most amazing way. But not only have you stopped there, because many people will say, I'll write a book, I'll write my memoirs, and that's it. You don't retire. You decided, I'm going to go beyond, like your father did.
Yeah.
You know, your father was the man who named Little Haiti.
Which his street is named after.
Yes.
Right here, outside my door.
Okay.
Which his portrait is right on the wall.
Okay, so we're in Little Haiti, and the street we're on is
Marie and Viter Way.
Wow, that's your father's name.
Maria and Viter Juste Way, yes.
Yes.
It's my parents' name. It's
That's
named after
fabulous. Now, your father was the one that decided, wait a minute, this is Lemon City, but if the Cubans have Little Havana, why can't the Haitians have Little Haiti?
Yeah, pretty
And
much.
he went to bat for that.
He went to bat for it. Not only, he batted for all immigrants.
All
He
immigrants.
was, in naming Little Haiti in giving it its name, he was honoring Little Havana also.
Yes.
Because we both are, you know, it takes two hands to clap. You know?
That's right.
And in Miami, Haitians and Cubans, they have to learn how to clap.
Yes.
And he really believed that these two strong immigrant communities are not only shaping and defining what Miami is, but Miami, even its very, very name. I mean, it's an Indian name.
Right.
But it's my friend in Spanish and French, Miami.
Miami. Yes.
That's not by coincidence. That's divine.
That's right. Yeah.
That's divine.
That's
and people have to understand, they have to live within their own divinity. You are your own Messiah. My father always believed that people can save themselves.
Yeah. And let me tell you, from your father's storytelling and his legacy that
he was also a newspaper man.
Yes.
Too. He was a journalist.
Yes.
A journalist. He had IET Florida, which was a newspaper, a local paper that talked about all the things that was happening in the diaspora. And he wrote letters to the Herald. He held people in power accountable.
I love that. And obviously an amazing mentor, amazing man. I wish I would have met him, but I'm so happy that...
Well, you are meeting him.
Yes.
He's in me.
That's what I was going to say. You just took my words out of my mouth. I was going to say, I'm so happy that he left one of the greatest legacy is in front of me. His son, Carl-Philippe Juste. Ever since you started writing for the magazine, Wynwood magazine, I caught your middle name.
Well, me and Rebecca. I supplied the pictures. Rebecca supplied.
And Rebecca Freeman from FIU
supplied.
Amazing articles. I hope you guys, pick up Wynwood magazine in one of the VIP signature events during our Basel Miami Art Week and read the fabulous Art of Humanities article, I Am Little Haiti.
But I must say this about this magazine.
Yeah.
Its main purpose is not to generate money or to generate position, but it's to generate the creativity and celebrate those who are here and return here and to honor this wonderful place that we call home, right?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And there's no powerful way to define oneself than to the act of art.
That's right.
And I think the magazine has done a wonderful job.
Thank you.
In making sure it's showcasing. I mean, it is a reminder of the best of us.
Yes.
It is very diverse. And it celebrates the best of who Miamians are. We tend to define ourselves in other places. Wynwood magazine defines itself in the place that it is. That is Miami.
Yeah.
So congratulations to
Thank you.
And you'll continue to have my support.
Thank you. Well, it takes a village. And honestly, the magazine is the sum of the parts that equal the whole, which is a magazine. But everybody has been amazing in this particular issue, besides Carl-Philippe Juste and his amazing piece. We have Lee Brian Schrager talking about the art of gastronomy, celebrating 25 years of South Beach Wine Food Festival.
Yes.
I mean, could you imagine? Romero Brito looked at me and said, what do you mean you want me to write? I said, well, we got a little twist with this magazine.
Yeah.
The icons pick the pen up. They pick up the pen and they tell the stories that are not just about themselves or about how great they've done. It's really about the evolution of putting the little seed on the ground and watching it evolve. And you've done an amazing work along that started with your father. And this brings me to my next question, which is, you've talked about and you specialize in underserved districts and villages and voices and lifting up those particular marginalized voices. Miami has changed so much.
It changed.
It's become where the ghettos are now first class VIP.
Yeah, VIP.
How does that affect your storytelling with Miami as you build a lot of your art form and pictures through these storytellings of these disparate communities? Now that Miami how does the commercialism of Miami change your process making in these neighborhoods?
Remember we had talked about being the candle in the dark, right?
Yeah.
All right. People may live in poverty, doesn't mean that they have no wealth. Okay? And my work, my job is to make sure to find gold wherever it lingers, even in the dark, despairing places, right? So in order to do that, one has to recognize what the beautiful struggle looks like, right? And Miami is about the beautiful struggle. It's about, they say it's easy, it's really easy to get up and know that you're going to win every day. But you're more of a winner when you know that you can lose every day. And my job, not even my job, my passion is to find those moments, even if in transition, where humanity does not disappear, that finance does not take over the human condition.
Yes.
And also enjoy.
Yeah.
A lot of the work I do is based on joy too.
Yes.
I did Kachow and Friends. I did Great Society with Celebrating a Black Cab. I mean, I've done stories about the emerging Black community, and I've done multiple things. And I'm not only concerned in describing my box.
Right.
I'm more concerned in expanding that box to include other people. And I think, again, I'm gonna go back to this magazine. I think that's what's the power of the magazine. It's that you're not looking only through the lens of art, you're looking through the lens of humanity.
Yes.
You're including these narratives that are important, and you're documenting them.
Yes.
And you're putting them to print. Because how often we put things on the web and they disappear.
Yes.
This will last forever.
Thank you.
As long as we are willing to search for it, it'll be in hard copy. I have your magazine here. All the ones you gave me last year, gone.
Yeah.
And when they had gone in 60 seconds, it was exactly like that. I put them on at one event, gone.
God.
And people took these not only as a possession, but as their own family album, as a memory.
Yeah.
You're chronicling what's happening in Miami, not only through the lens of artists, but through the lens of communities.
Yes.
And you're tying all the loose ends.
That's what we hope to do.
Well, that's what you're doing.
Thank you.
Right? So when I do my work, I do it in the same vein that you do your work.
Absolutely.
And that's why our collaborations is so easy. And I have to give props to the Herald. I have to give props to Dr. Rebecca Freeman with the Humanities Public Lab, Humanities Public Lab, HPL.
IPC?
And IPC ArtSpace.
Oh my God, we're sitting in IPC ArtSpace.
And Eyewitness.
Iris PhotoCollective. And I have to tell you, one of the most things, I mean, I love you. I'm proud of you. Every time, I'm honored to call you my friend.
Same.
We have the synergies that align. And one of the things I love the most about you is how you're leaving a blueprint for young photographers and even young kids that may not know that they want to be photographers, because you did a project that I supported you years ago.
Yes, with the children of Overtown.
Oh, Children of Overtown.
Yes.
We did Through My Lens.
And
it was an amazing.
Spencer Jones.
Yes, and I think we got, was it Sprint or Cricket that gave the phones?
Yes.
The phones to the kids. And then we took the kids through Wynwood and let them photograph with their phones and create. The show was phenomenal.
And it was at History Miami.
And the kids showed up, and it was in the History of Miami Museum, and these kids who probably, they were kids in a big house or no house or a single mom, different stories, but now it was their story time. And you gave them the equipment, the ammunition, and together as a community, we came in to support Through My Lens. And I remember taking all these kids and talking about all the history and storytelling behind the murals to see what sparked those little hands to click and flicker away. And then it became a story being told to the community at the Museum of the History of Miami. Amazing. And you continue to do that. You just recently did a show. It said Imagine Visions of Hope. And that was Imagine Visions of Hope was a show that you curated, that you made a project encouraging photographers to show hope through these despair moments. And one of the things that I want to ask you is, how do you now give the visual storytellers of the future, how do you equip them in today's age? Because how do you teach them the heavyweight lifting of photography?
Well, the photography is not, it doesn't exist between your fingers, it exists between your two ears, right? It's your mind, it's the main camera. The camera does not rest in your hands. That's just a tool. Photography is about reimagining, right? It's reimagining in terms of, in my practice, in terms of reality, right? I'm experiencing something, and I'm finding a way to retell that story to someone who's not here, but to keep it authentic, but be creative, so I attract their attention. So I think that was the main purpose of that project we did with the kids. But all the projects I do, like Images of Hope, all the projects that I do, where I bring collaboration with some of the top photojournalists throughout the world, not only in the United States of Miami, throughout the world.
Yes.
When I gather, we perform a chorus, a visual chorus.
Yes.
We sing the songs of all these stories that sometimes go untold, and we sing them and we herald them from the lowest points of this earth to the highest paramount mountains as possible.
Absolutely.
We go from Death Valley to Mount Everest.
Yes.
And that's our job, right?
Yeah.
That's our job, to remind people, no matter where you're born, we're still connected by one thing, which is our humanity. And that is something that is divine.
Yes, it is.
And it needs to be reminded, because we get lost in this AI technology, and we forget that the telephone only connects our voice but doesn't connect our narrative. If I cannot trust what I'm hearing on the other side of the world, then what value does it have to me?
Yeah.
How far do we need to continue to be entertained if we're only lying to each other?
That's amazing. And I'm going to ask you a real stupid question.
There's no stupid questions.
Yeah, okay. Only because I know the answer so well. Right. But I'm sure people have this question. Do you think photojournalism is art?
It is. I refer to photojournalism as visual jazz improvisation. Visual improvisation. It is visual jazz. You have a structure, and you have to respect that structure, and jazz is always about truth. See, me as a person of color, I cannot afford to imagine. I just can't. I don't have the liberty. The life itself don't offer me the, I cannot imagine myself being something that I am not dealing with in the present state.
Oh, that's interesting.
Just can't, because I don't have the luxury. Because I have to create that luxury for myself. So my imagination happens within the confines of these walls.
Right.
I could imagine what it is to be Cuban and Haitian and landing in Miami at the same time. So I imagine the show Landed. I can imagine what it is to live through the summer of 2020, so I created Defiance. I can imagine what it is to be indoctrinated in special period in Cuba and all this aftermath, so I decided Children of the Revolution. I can only imagine in the context of truth.
And from that context of truth that speaks to you and told to you by these truth tellers,
right,
then you create and curate a show to share with the community.
Share with the world.
Share with the world. Yeah. Fabulous. Now, everything is like, oh my gosh. I have to tell you, it's inspirational, the passion that you have, and there's no doubt about it. Now, I want to ask you the final question. You have been a photojournalist for decades. How was it, coming from film to digital photography? How did that better your storytelling, defined it? And now with the future instruments at hand, which is social media, which is AI, how do you see the process of your storytelling evolving?
Truth is water, and how it's carried, it depends on the container, but it's still water. You have to stay pure. You have to stay pure.
Wow.
And that's how I operate. Truth is water, it's not the vessel. I was telling these kids the other day, I said, let me show you what perspective is, right? I'm gonna give you 4 things, all of them are true. 4 plus 0 is 4. 1 plus 3 is 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. Okay, those 3 things. 3 different ways of seeing the number 4, but the truth is, it's 4.
Oh my God.
So we could all have these different approaches, but the truth is the final arbiter.
I love that.
Right?
I love that.
So I operate from truth.
My gosh. So I'm going to, this is like the perfect, I want to continue to talk to you over and over, and we will.
You're always welcome to come back.
We are coming back. We're going to continue the story and the narrative. But for now, I am so grateful. I hope that this has been an inspirational and it has sparked some passion and creativity in you. Thank you, Carl-Philippe Juste.
I will say this to your audience. If you're watching this, you're watching a blessing.